In this video, we're going to prove that if a vector function has a constant magnitude, then that vector function must be perpendicular to its own derivative, and that would be true at any value for the parameter in the domain of this vector function. So let's look at a geometric interpretation in order to be able to understand what the claim is here. If we have a vector function that traces out a curve C and the magnitude of that vector function is a constant, then no matter what value we plug in for the parameter, that we're going to get a vector out, and that vector that we get out is always the same magnitude. An example of this happening would be when we have a vector function that traces out a circle. No matter what value for the parameter we put in, we're going to get a vector r evaluated at t that has the same magnitude all the way around the outside of that circle. We could say this is r evaluated at t1. This other vector would be the vector function evaluated at a different value for the parameter, and so on and so forth. So no matter what we plug in for the parameter, we get a vector that is the same magnitude all the way around, just pointing in different directions. So if that's true, if we have a vector function where the output is a vector with the same magnitude every time, then that vector function is going to be perpendicular to its own derivative at any given point. Now remember, the derivative vector is a vector that's going to be pointing in the direction of the tangent line, so we would have a perpendicular vector here where r and r prime are perpendicular to each other. If we were to plug some other value in for the parameter and get a different vector pointing to some other ordered pair on the outside of the circle, then we could plug that value of the parameter into the derivative vector, and we would end up with a vector that is perpendicular to the position vector. And again, this is true when the vector function itself has a constant magnitude. So let's prove this. To begin the proof, we're going to have to start with the first given piece of information. We're going to have to start with a vector who has a constant magnitude. Now, if this is true, then what we need to show is that the original vector function is perpendicular to its own derivative. And if you'll recall, when two vectors are perpendicular to each other, that would mean that their dot product is going to be equal to 0. So if we could show that the dot product was 0, then we would be showing that the vectors are perpendicular to each other. So essentially, this is what we need to show. Let's recall from some of our properties of dot products. The dot product of a vector dot itself is going to be the magnitude of that vector quantity squared, and therefore, if I were to take my original position vector and dot it with itself, what we end up with is the magnitude of that position vector, quantity squared. So now, let's take this true statement and differentiate both sides. So we're looking to take the derivative of the left-hand side and the derivative of the right-hand side. Now, the derivative of the left, it's the dot product of two vectors, and the dot product of two vectors derivative follows the product rule of differentiation. And what that looks like is the first dot the derivative of the second plus the derivative of the first dot the second. Now on the right, what we're doing is we're differentiating the magnitude of this vector, quantity squared, and remember the magnitude of our position vector was declared to be a constant. We made that assumption initially. We said if it's a constant, then these two vectors have to be perpendicular to each other. So let's assume it's a constant and then show that they must be perpendicular. So if this is a constant on the right-hand side, the derivative of a constant is equal to 0. Another property of the dot product is that the dot product is commutative, which means that r dot r prime is the same thing as r prime dot r, and so we could call this 2 times the dot product of r dot r prime, which is equal to 0. And then if I just divide both sides by 2 here, we get our desired outcome, which is that r dot its derivative is equal to 0, which tells me therefore the position vector must be perpendicular to its derivative. And since we showed that this was true in the general case where the value of the parameter was t, then this is true for any value of the parameter that is in the domain of the function.